I've always been a big fan of Teslas. They not only stand for sustainability, but show how lithium-ion batteries and giant touchscreens are truly the future of motoring. So when Tesla unveiled the new Roadster in 2017 with 620 miles of range, over 1,000 horsepower, and 4 seats, needless to say I was excited. So excited, in fact, I even got a Matchbox car of one, which started my love for collecting model Teslas. I just love how they integrate every single function of the car into the touchscreen for a clean look. With the recent success and reliability of the Cybertruck, Tesla has decided to make the new Roadster early. There are a couple changes, but they're mostly good ones. And I have one to show you guys today. Let's see if this is truly one of the fastest and most aerodynamic cars ever made. First, this car is zero emissions. You won't notice an exhaust pipe anywhere on this vehicle since it's fully electric. Speaking of which, the Roadster has an 8800 mAh battery. This is much smaller than other EVs due to the saved weight. You can practically pick this thing up. This is even the same battery used in the iPad Air. Being an EV also means it's mechanically simplistic. In fact, all of the repairs can be made through the infotainment. The battery is paired to a zero-cylinder engine outputting over 9,000 horsepower, much more than advertised. And that is mated to a zero-speed, continuously non-variable transmission, so it's way better than a CVT. The exterior design is fully digital, incorporating the wheels, lights, and doors into a high-resolution touchscreen. The wheel diameters begin at 9 inches, but they can be resized up to 50 inches from the factory. These also run on 420/69 rubber, ensuring a cloud-like ride. Speaking of a cloud-like ride, the Tesla Roadster also has air suspension. While we're on the subject of air, the Roadster has a surprisingly low coefficient of drag of 0.00000000000, which is less than a Koenigsegg Jesko, a Volkswagen XL1, and a Buick Terraza CXL. Combine this with a curb weight of 2 ounces, and you have a real performance winner. The only thing that can make the Roadster lighter is if John Cena was the driver. For lighting, we get the first ever IPS LED headlights and taillights. They use the same technology that modern smartphone displays use. In other words, the lighting is well integrated into the screen, presumably for cost cutting. Lastly, let's look at the doors. They feature keyless entry like any other car, but these are intelligent, so the user does not have to even open or close the door to get into the vehicle. Access is incredibly easy, but it is much lower than you would expect. It's like you're sitting on the ground. Once you're inside, you'll find that the interior is not only incredibly simplistic, but it's incredibly spacious with perfect 360-degree visibility. Tesla was able to achieve this by integrating all of the interior design and controls into the screen. Therefore, this is the first production car to include no physical buttons or surfaces. This truly makes the car solid state. Even though the prototype was simplistic, this ups that by several notches. The seats could be more supportive in my opinion, but it's a small trade-off since they too are built into the screen. Speaking of the screen, let's go in depth since that is where all of the car's interior functions live. The standard interior screen is 27 inches, but a 45-inch screen will be optional with the Plaid Edition, which will debut next April. Anyways, this head unit not only includes the interior design, but you can also access the auto industry's best maps, web browser, and built-in speedometer. Plus, your mirror and steering wheel controls, car settings, door openers, window switches, door panels, and even the dashboard are all integrated into one place. Because the interior design is digital, you can customize the style and even the ambient lighting. Take that, Mercedes Hyperscreen! This is also the first Tesla to include Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, unlike GM. This integration is wireless only since there are no charge ports in the vehicle. The best integration by far is the plethora of climate controls in the screen. Even though you can't see them, they are easily accessible. First, open the command line and type the following command to access the menu for the controls. Now you have access to seat controls, fan speed, air direction, and temperature. I couldn't find the heated seats, steering wheel, or mirrors in this menu. However, I was told that this is easily accessed by a different keyboard shortcut, and that took only about 2 hours to find, so not too bad. These controls are also pretty easy to use. The last feature of this head unit is the ads. Ads come standard by default, but you can upgrade to have no ads via a subscription plan. Many of the features in this vehicle, like the doors, windows, and AC controls, are also available through the same subscription plan. Outside of the screen, we get this massive center console with no cup holders, but there's plenty of room to put a cup down. Next, I'll briefly touch on the back seat since this is one of the only cars of this caliber that provides an extra 2 seats. Getting in the back is just as easy as getting in the front. Once you're back there, amenities are slim to none, but you get amazing legroom and amazing headroom. It's impressive given how few doors this car has. I feel the same way about comfort in the back as I do in the front. I really wish these seats could be more supportive. In my reviews, I normally say, let's fold the seats to gain access to the trunk. But in this Tesla, the seats auto-fold depending on whether or not you're carrying passengers or cargo. The trunk, as you can see, has plenty of space. To me, it looks like the trunk could fit 4 large suitcases, a bicycle, a 2012 Volkswagen Jetta SE with convenience package, and even a model of a Tesla Roadster. Let's return to the front to discuss driving impressions. This is one of the lightest cars I've ever driven. In fact, 0 to 60 happens in just 0.019 seconds. Yes, I said that correctly. Again, because you have such a low curb weight and coefficient of drag, this is possible on the Roadster unlike any other car. Since the steering wheel is also built into the screen, it's incredibly easy to turn. You might have heard of electric power steering. You might have loved steer-by-wire, but the Tesla Roadster uses wireless steering. This is kind of in the same vein as SEMA trucks using Bluetooth drive shafts. This takes inspiration from that to a whole new level. Anyways, the vehicle and the steering are incredibly light, meaning that this handles like it's on rails. Once again, the air suspension makes the ride feel incredibly smooth. It irons out every bump in the road. Brake feel is instantaneous thanks to regen braking, and braking is inevitable. I'm just kidding on that last one. Have you seen how insanely rust-proof the Cybertrucks are? Again, I have an open-top roof with 360-degree visibility, which is fantastic while driving. Another really neat thing I noticed is that I have gotten way more than 620 miles of range on this Tesla. I've driven about 621 miles so far, and I am yet to charge it. I think the head unit's got to be plugged in pretty soon though. So overall, this is one of the best driving cars I have ever driven. I do have a couple criticisms though. First, I do wish that the rocket thrusters had a little more feel to them. When Tesla's CEO promised this to us, I was kind of excited, so I'm a little underwhelmed on their performance here. Second, I wish the screen was a little bigger. And finally, I wish that the Roadster would 100% drive itself with full self-driving. What's the point of having a sports car if I have to drive it? However, I'm sure that most of these minor things can be fixed with a software update. They can probably remove the fake fence with that too. So overall, I highly recommend the new 3024 Tesla Roadster. Even though 250,000 cents is a little bit expensive, it's well priced compared to other sports cars. However, I think you should consider cross-shopping this with a couple of other great options. Before you buy the Tesla Roadster, cross-shop similar vehicles like the Lordstown Endurance, the Faraday Future FF91, the Nikola Motors Badger, and seemingly the 6th generation 4Runner, which, if you couldn't tell, have all been parked next to me this entire time. But at the end of the day, it's your choice as to which one of these you should buy. And no matter how many features are hidden inside of your infotainment, I hope you guys drive safe. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy your April 1st.